All right, guys. So this is the AI Commander app. This is an app I've been working on, and the whole point of this app is to kind of help people who are not really, good at AI, or they want to learn AI and they need a tool to just help them get started. And that's what this app's about. It's really about putting the command of AI right in your hand with a mobile app. So let's go ahead and take a look at this app. So right when you start the app, if you don't have a key, you're gonna be faced with, some of these messages. It'll tell you a little bit about this. And watch the demo, start commanding AI. You're gonna go ahead and pretty much kind of come into this area where you're gonna have to choose an account. So at this point, you can go for the full access, go to the website, learn about that. Or I would suggest just start with the free trial and watch this video and do some of the tutorials. All right, so the first thing we need to do is um, we need to type something in here. So this is our email address, and what it's going to do is it's going to essentially help us to get access. I'm going to go ahead and hit that, and let's go ahead and hit start free trial. Okay, so now at this point we have a free trial set up and ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start using AI Commander. Now, okay, so ultimately what this app does, let's stop this guy here. So this is Cody, this little guy right here, and he's your little assistant. If you need him, you can tap on him. He'll take you through an app tour, some of the stuff we're talking about today, and all that kind of good stuff. So anyhow, let's go ahead and just talk about what this app does. Okay, so this app pretty much works with the clipboard. So the essence of it is that whatever you copy into the clipboard of your phone, you can use this as a AI controller to operate on whatever you put in the clipboard, right? We have all sorts of different templates, and the templates are fairly different because you can do different things. AI is this kind of superpower that allows you to do so many things. So take, for example, social media. These are the different templates. You can navigate them. If you want to just get some more screen real estate, you can actually just go ahead and collapse those. Okay. Now, these templates have buttons down below, and these are called action buttons, right? So imagine, and we'll do a demo here. So imagine that you're surfing Twitter and you go ahead and you're going to copy some text from Twitter, and you want the AI to potentially take some action on that text. So here's an example of some of the action buttons that we can do. So we might have some Twitter text and we want to say, let's generate a thoughtful reply, a supportive reply, professional, something funny. Maybe we want to ask a question, do an expert take on the subject, create a compliment, share a story, network, or even respectfully disagree. Now, these templates can be made by anyone. We've made a few of these here. And if we look at what templates we've created, we've got a social media. Let's say here's one for content creator. You can create blog posts, social posts, get a list of headlines, SEO optimize something, newsletters, video scripts. So you can see that anything is possible with the template engine that we've built. And we've made it so that you can manipulate the engines, you can do whatever you want, and you can download new ones. So these templates, for example, maybe we'll come back to this, but ultimately we have a library that you can go ahead and you can actually download these templates and use them yourself. So let's go ahead and let's jump over to Twitter. Okay, so here's WNBA. Let's go there. Okay, so for example, we've got some information here. So let's go ahead and, okay, so here's this post about Caitlin Clark. So I'm going to go ahead and use because I've got this fancy Samsung. I'm going to go ahead, AI select, and this is part of my phone, but you could just long press, as you know, and just select that. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this text. Okay. So right now it's in my clipboard, and we can see it says Caitlin Clark did something or a ridiculous pay us, you owe us t-shirt. Okay, well that's funny. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump over to our app. So now we're going to go back to our app, right? Okay, and so we've got Cody here trying to do a bunch of stuff. No problem. Let's just go ahead and silence Cody. Now, we just saw this, and let's say we wanted to respond, right? So what we can do is we can go ahead and just hit supportive. Okay, so now what it's going to do is it's going to take what was in the clipboard, and it's going to go ahead and create a response that's supportive that we could paste back if we want, right? So for example, look at this, says it's important to remember everyone has their own perspective and reasons. Caitlin Clark, like many athletes, is using her platform. So it's giving us an AI response about this, right? And we're like, okay, if we want to use this, we could go ahead and copy it. We could share it direct to a social platform. Or, for example, let's go ahead and I might have to silence this guy a little bit more. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to content creator, right? So this is where we might say, okay, well, let's create a social post about this, right? So there's different ways that we can roll that. We could actually take what's in the clipboard and roll it again. So let's go ahead and just roll that into a social post. All right. Okay, so here's an example where it gives us something we could post to Twitter. It gives us something that we could post to LinkedIn. Gives us something we can post to Instagram. Okay, so that's all pretty cool. Okay, so let's go back here. I'm going to close this. Now, if you want to bring up these responses as you're working with the different templates and getting it to do things, you can go ahead and you can just scroll to the bottom and you'll see this little icon right here. So if you pull that up, you can navigate between these different things, right? So here's an example. Let's say we wanted to create a blog post out of this Caitlin Clark content right here. So we can go ahead and we can just actually copy that. Okay, and this now just copied to the clipboard, just like we were at Twitter and we copied it to the clipboard. But this time, let's go ahead and let's create a blog post out of this. All right, so here's our blog post. Now, this stuff's already formatted for Markdown, so you could just copy and paste it. Okay, and if you look here, athletes as advocates. So now it's a blog post about Caitlin Clark doing all this stuff, the role of sports and social issues. So you can see that it's gone ahead and created a whole blog post of this. So that's pretty interesting. These are social templates, right? And you can do all sorts of stuff. Let's say we wanted to now turn that blog post into a series of headlines. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're just going to roll that one in. Okay, now we've got a bunch of headlines that we could use in some other kind of a context. Okay, so this is just one template, right? This app can be used for all sorts of things, right? Like I said, we've got the social media interactor template. If you're a computer programmer and you wanted to get some information about some code, you could just copy it and come in here and ask for information. You could do a code review, ask for some documentation, optimize something, generate some tests. So you can do this for all sorts of code stuff. Now this becomes very interesting when you're synchronized with the browser plugin. So we have an extension for Chrome that can actually synchronize this with this app. So while you're doing something on your screen, you can have this open as a command control panel to actually solve and do different types of coding for you while you're working on your browser. Now there are other ways to do that, but this is a very easy entry-level way for people to learn about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about these templates. You can see that the templates are kind of nicely branded up here. You can create your own templates. Okay, and you can submit them to us and we will host them and provide them for you. If you are a company that actually does AI and you want to provide services, or you have a server or some sort of API, we could potentially list those for you and help you get your service up in front of people. Now, let's go ahead and choose, for example, social media. Let's check out agents. Now, we don't have the agents up and running right now. They're going to be up and running soon, okay? Now, what are some of the things that you can do with agents? Well, these are things that'll present back a dashboard to you. So let's say you want to track a certain person. You want an agent looking for certain keywords in the social. You want to monitor engagement. So the idea here is that the agent can go out and do a bunch of the stuff that you would normally have to go do in other places, multiple systems, same kind of thing. You can actually get that stuff happening here. Let's move over to content creator. Let's say you want to, or sorry, yeah, that's content. Let's go to the personal shopper. Okay, watch some prices, stock notifier, deal finder, coupon collector, right? So we are going to have the agents going out and doing these things that you want, and you get to choose what they are. Okay, actions. So for example, we got price comparisons, product research, all that kind of stuff. So really kind of cool stuff. Let's say you were looking at something and you wanted to analyze the deal. We're going to actually do a whole bunch of demos on this channel and provide you with all sorts of powerful videos that show you how you can use these templates. Now, where can you get more templates? Well, if you go over here, you can see you can import a template. So let's go ahead and actually just go ahead and hit this button here. You can either click this one or this one, doesn't matter. So let's do that one. Now here you can import the template. These are some quick ones down below, but most importantly, you'll want to go to the Browse Template Catalog. Okay. Now some of these are defaults. You'll see that we have these. But take, for example, like notice the abstractness of templates and all the kinds of things you can do. We're going to go into the Knowledge Builder template, but let's go ahead and see what else we have. So we have a business analyst template, a student helper, a business communication pro, some creative writing, a healthcare assistant, home manager, sales and marketing. We are going to have a whole bunch of these, and these are going to be community generated, which is going to be really cool. So let's go ahead and go down to Knowledge Builder. This sounds like an interesting template to me. So all I do is I just hit import the template, and boom, we've got it right here. And we can look, and then we can click it. Now the first thing you'll see is the actions. So what are some of the things that we want to learn about potentially, right? So these are kind of your buttons that will help you to build knowledge. So let's say we have a subject that we want to learn about. We can ask it to define the basics, the core components, underlying principles, purposes and function, questions and assumptions, evidence and proof, compare and contrast, cause and effect, how well it works, real examples, different contexts, practical applications, multiple perspectives, limitations and problems, future implications. Like it kind of goes on here. We're right at the end with alternative approaches. But the idea here is that when you're seeking new knowledge, these are the kinds of things that you should be going through, right? So let's say we want to learn something about, okay, I accidentally clicked that one. So it's going to probably do something about basketball and Caitlin Clark. Okay. So these are perspectives about advocacy, all this kind of stuff. So let's go back. We don't really care too much about that at the moment. Let's say we wanted to learn something about some sort of, let's say something like cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. Okay. Now we could go navigate an article, highlight that article, copy it, and then it's in the clipboard. And then we can execute any one of these knowledge building actions, right? One of the things I've done is I've created this one here, which is a clipboard access direct. So let's go ahead and clear this. And let's say I just want to learn about Bitcoin and crypto. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save to clipboard. So now that's in my clipboard. So let's go ahead and say we want to learn the basics about Bitcoin. Boom. Okay, so now you're going to get information about this direct, right? So you're going to learn about all of the basics about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. All right, now that's really cool. Look at all that. Okay, now what about other things that we want to learn about that? So maybe we want to roll those basics and get the underlying principles. Okay, and now they talk about the underlying principles of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency: decentralization, blockchain, consensus, cryptography. So this is really cool and allows you to build your knowledge. Okay, and that's the knowledge builder template. Super cool. Now look at the diversity of this, right? These templates can be edited by you, and you can manipulate these buttons down here. We'll do another video about how to do that, but you can guide the AI and you can add your own twist on some of these key things that you want to do. Maybe it's like questions you might ask about the personal shopping, things about content, right? Now, we just did all these underlying principles of learning about Bitcoin with the knowledge template. Maybe we want to create some content about that, right? What do we want to create? Let's create, how about this? Let's create a video script for a podcast, or maybe a newsletter. Newsletter is easier. So let's say we have a bunch of people that we want to communicate with and share our knowledge that we're building around this, right? Now we have all of this here ready to go. Now we can just go ahead, if depending on how our socials are set up in our phone, we can just actually just go ahead and share direct this stuff into the platforms, right? Super cool. We'll do an example maybe on LinkedIn. I think that would be a good one to do later on. But this is the essence right here. Okay, this is the essence, is to have these templates that exist. Okay, have AI actions that operate on whatever we put in the clipboard. The templates are kind of the context of what we're trying to take action. Agents are going to be coming soon. These are autonomous. They happen in the background. They'll go ahead and do stuff and present you back a dashboard for each of these things. The idea is Cody will tell you when the agent stuff is up. The actions, this is the part that's very powerful and usable right now. Templates, these are things that we can create, and we can create as many buttons as we want. So let's go ahead and take a look at the editing. Maybe I'll show you a little sneak peek of this right now. If you go up here and you hit the little pen button, you'll notice that you can now edit the information around the content, around the template definition, or any one of the buttons. So let's go ahead and see what it is. What is the prompt and the actions and the executions around the social post? Okay, here you can see we've got some information. We've got a label for the button. We've got a default color. What is the output of this action, right? So you can have code, markdown, brief text, detailed text, JSON, which is more of a code thing, and clean text. So this one's just clean text. And then this is where we have, okay, we've got variables, right? So this is a little bit different, but this is where you get to essentially define how the prompt comes together by using placeholders and different types of information. Okay, take a look at this. So this is what powers the button. Create an engaging social media post for Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram based on this content. Include relevant hashtags. Okay, and then use the clipboard content. If you wanted to modify this, if you wanted to say TikTok, if you wanted to say add this flare for these reasons, or XYZ, or add this link in there, which might be your socials, might be other stuff, link backs, hashtags, things that you want to include, you can actually manipulate the output right here. Okay. So it's very powerful in the sense of being able to create these templates, create all of the action buttons, get templates from the community, modify them for yourself if you want to, and simply just use them for the power that they're going to bring. All right. And it's as simple as that. This phone app right here can be paired with a Chrome extension. Okay. And what that means is that anything that you copy from your browser, if you want to use it that way, can be synchronized with this app. Therefore, you just copy something from your browser, boom, you hit the action, the AI action that you want, and it's automatically copied back into your clipboard on your PC, your laptop, or your desktop computer. Now that is extremely handy if you're working on your computer, doing a variety of tasks, engaging in social, and doing work online through that format. So we've really got it covered on both fronts. Check it out. If you need to see your account details, we've got the little gear icon here. You can see I've already used most of my trial in just this session, but that's the game, right? So this costs money to do all this stuff. So we give a trial, we let you guys go at it, learn how the tool works. Hopefully that's enough for you. Let us know on that, and then at the same time you have this option to upgrade to Pro, and then ultimately this will take you to the website where you can learn more about all the features from there. Okay, now where do you get this other stuff? Okay, so this here, for example, mobile mode only. Okay, so I'm going to do another video around the connected extension mode. Okay, so this is, just leave this set up like this for now, but there'll come a time where you may want to unhook this, and so now it's driven from your laptop or your desktop computer. Okay, but for now, just leave it on mobile only mode. If you want to clear your stuff, you want things that you don't want in here, like you could have a template about relationships, you could have a template about sports betting, you could have a template about virtually anything. And we're going to help to get these ideas out there. It's going to be super cool. And this is just the start. We anticipate the agents will be powerful. Lots of new agent technology coming out. So we're going to choose the best of what the market has to offer and bring it to you guys. Why did we do this? Well, the whole purpose was to be able to get on board people into AI. AI is a complex thing, and we thought, what better way to do it? Everybody has a phone, and everybody knows how to copy paste. So therefore, let's create a software technology that's going to allow people to very easily command AI from the palm of their hand simply by copying and pasting and then choosing an action. That's the essence of what this app does. We are going to have this amazing community of templates, and we would encourage those of you who are just a little bit more technical to brand out some templates for yourself, for your companies, for your apps, all that kind of stuff. We are not going to gatekeep this. We really want to create a ecosystem and a community around this. All right, so if you have any questions at all, please contact us. We will have a Discord for this app. If you are looking for guidance, you can go ahead and hit this little Cody here, and he will guide you. You can take the app tour. It's going to tell you all about the different buttons. As you go through this, you can go ahead and click on links, go through all the steps, learn things. And remember, the easiest way to use this app, and the way it's designed, is that you copy something into the clipboard. or you can type something direct into here. It's up to you. And then you choose your action. It's as simple as that. I would recommend that you go to a particular app that you're interested in and begin to engage with it in this way. So highlight some text, go back to the app, choose an action. Simple as that. All right. See you guys later. Please check it out and please give me some feedback. I would really appreciate that. Thanks.